Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Joni Misiak. Today, I'm having a candid conversation about something I've actually really been feeling just crappy about, something that's I've never really loved. And what is it? It's social media. I know why we have social media, and I love that I can go find somebody that went to high school with or college and have a connection. But I feel like social media has gone a little crazy. And also, even way back, I know that it made it hard for me to not look at other people's lives. So hear me out. I'm going to open up about how I feel and my thoughts on social media. I'm not poo-pooing social media. I'm just having literally a candid conversation about how I feel about it and how it might actually prevent you from really connecting to who you are. Now, I'm not saying ditch social media, just having an understanding of what it can do for your relationship with yourself. And then just having, it's just me sharing how I feel about it. So this year, I decided I was going to get back on social media. I haven't actually been on it really for 2 years. I might have posted a few things here and there, but nothing really. I have never scrolled on people's social media. I literally took a break because with my my gut and healing it, it would create brain fog, and I just wasn't at a good place mentally to look at all the stuff that's going on in social media. So I decided to take a break, and I used to share so my family would see, but I would be doing it at like 10, 11 o'clock at night when I really needed to be relaxing and getting ready for bed. And eventually I realized I don't have all the energy that I used to, so I had to take something off my plate, and it was social media. So fast forward 2 years where I've been healing my gut, healing, the mental fog and the mental just emotions that come with things like that when, you don't feel like yourself and things like that. So I made this commitment to show up more on social media so I can connect with you and with, people that need my support and help, because that's why I love doing what I do. I love helping people. So it's like, well, how do these people find me? And it's getting on social media again. And here's the thing. Now, I think I might have hit the ground running a little too hard because that's usually how I go. It's like, go big or go home. And well, in fact, I went home because I went too big. So I started posting, and I was posting 7 days a week. And I would sit on my phone at night while I was supposed to be relaxed, like my me time, the time that I designated for myself to unwind and get ready for bed. I'd be on my phone, setting up posts, thinking about posts, like anything about social media. I was like, ooh, this would be fun to share. And I'd put it in Canva and create things. And I was constantly in post mode. Like, what am I going to post next? And I wasn't sleeping. And if I was sleeping, it wasn't good sleeping. And then eventually I'm like, whoa, cannot post 7 days a week, can't live and breathe social media. It's too much for me. So I scaled it back. And then last week, it snowed here, and I didn't actually work. I didn't work. I had to pivot all my things because my kids were home more, and it just took a toll on my mental and my energy and just everything, where everything pivoted. Plus, because it doesn't snow here often, we're like, ooh, let's go out in the snow and play. So my whole week was different. And I think even before that, I was feeling burnt out from trying too hard. And so that's my thoughts and my struggles with social media from a business perspective. That's where I'm sitting right now in this world of social media. Let me talk more about how it might be affecting the relationship with yourself. I say this with so much love because I used to do this. I'd be scrolling, like I might be feeling good about myself, my day, my life. And then I would get on social media and see all these other things. And then I would not feel like I'm doing enough, or that I'm not a good parent, or that, oh, I need this, or I want this. And it was like all these shiny things popping up. And I'd always compare myself to others. And that's not good because I'm not them. They're not me. We're not all meant to be the same. But I would get caught up in the comparing mode. Now, here's another part. So, first we can compare. We can get lost in that wheel, like, ooh, look at this, look at that. And we're like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Go down that rabbit hole. I should do this. I'm not doing this, and I'm not good enough. So, when you're not, like I said, when my mental state wasn't great, when you're not at a good place, so maybe you're dealing with a little bit of seasonal depression or the winter blues, or just something where you're just not feeling worthy or good right now. Social media can make that worse. It really can. And I was actually just having a beautiful conversation with somebody yesterday about social media. And she also doesn't like social media. Most people I meet around here, we're not a big social media. We're all about living the moment. And that's the other thing that drives me bananas about social media. I only have so many hours in a day. I spend a lot of them one-on-one with my children, like being in the moment, in the present moment. And then if not, I'm working and I'm putting my heart out to other people. And then I have a window, a pocket of me time. That pocket, I don't want to be scrolling and see other people's lives. I want to be focusing inward on myself. And it can just get really overwhelming. And we can forget to live in the moment. Like I said before with my business, like, ooh, I could be posting this or I could be posting that. I did the polar plunge and I was like, oh, I must take a picture of myself so I can share it on social media. And I was constantly in this moment of like content creating mode. And I don't love that. I don't love that personally. And then with, let's go back to the relationship with ourselves. So you're comparing and you're sharing, and then you're not really in the moment anymore either. And you can get lost in other people's lives. And then you don't feel good. So that comparing happens, right? So if you're anything like me, where I used to compare myself to others, I remember going like, oh, they're doing this. Maybe I should do that. When we get so focused on other people's lives, then we lose sight of who we are and what we need and want. Now, again, I'm not poo-pooing social media. I'm really not. I just think back to when I would spend so much time on social media too. There goes 2 hours of my day. It's like, whoa. And it's just being mindful of how much time you're spending. Well, we can complain about how much little time we have and life is busy. But it's amazing when you step back and look at where you're putting it. And when I think back to before I had kids, my husband and I, we would eat sushi on Sundays. We'd eat so much that we were full and we'd lay around and have a lazy Sunday. I miss those lazy Sundays. But then I look back going, wow, we wasted so much time. Like not in a bad way in a way, but like we used to think that we didn't have enough time to get things done. Like we always felt busy then. And then I look and go like, wow, we really, wasted that time. And you can't change the past. But man, there's times where I really wish I could realize that I could have managed my time better. And with social media, it's still figuring out managing time as well. The other thing with social media is you see people on their good days. Now, some people might share real life moments. I know a lot of celebrities were like, this is me, this is how I am. But it's still filtered. I try to share pretty openly here and on social media as well. But the thing is, we can still filter it, right? Like you don't see when I had a big cry where I was losing my mind and I had to work through all the process that I share with you. I'm human too, and we all have human experiences. But social media only shares parts of them. And we can really forget that. The whole grass is greener on the other side. So again, I'm not saying, poo-poo, get rid of social media. It's just about being mindful of how you feel when you're on it. How much time are you spending on it? If you're looking for more time in your day so you can take care of yourself, your mental, like your mindset, emotional well-being, taking a little bit of time away from social media is really good. One of the things I caught myself doing when I had when my kids were little, like they were babies, I'd be on my phone, I'd be scrolling. just scrolling, like reading people's lives. And I didn't know it at the time, but usually afterwards, I felt kind of crappy. And then eventually I caught myself going, whoa, like I'm constantly scrolling every time I have a minute. My kid's sleeping or I'm just being for a minute, I'm scrolling. It was a distraction from looking at my life in that moment. And when I caught myself just aimlessly scrolling, I realized I wanted to pivot what I was doing because sometimes it's just habit. We just pick up our phone and like, ooh, what's going on right now? And what I did instead was I had a book, an inspiring book, something to really like help me with my self-love journey. I always love having a book on the go. Actually, I have a couple. One's, a cozy mystery, something that's just fun and relaxing. And then another one's like where it gets my brain thinking about more ways I could support myself and get to know myself more, or just learning something. So what I would do is when I was about to grab my phone, I'd grab my book instead. And it is how I got through the hard times when my kids were little. There's a lot of emotional things that go on when you have babies and then they get toddlers. And it's like this whole roller coaster of things. And the thing is, life always has roller coasters of ups and downs. So it's just being mindful, again, how you feel. And if you're feeling great, awesome. But if you don't, then maybe scale that back and grab yourself a book or listen to a podcast or read a book online. So instead of looking at people's lives, you're reading a book online, something that, sparks inspiration in you or just lights you up. Because if social media is not lighting you up, what's the opposite? It's bringing you down. Like I said, I was in the world of like when Facebook came out. I remember when it was happening. And I think I waited a year after it came out. So I am not huge in technology. I love technology because it helps me share my life and my, what I've learned, my lessons with others around the whole world. And I'm just so grateful for technology. And at the same time, we have to be careful that technology isn't preventing us from living life fully as who we truly are. There's just so much out there, so much negativity. And I've actually toyed with getting rid of social media altogether. I'm not sure yet where I stand on that. I've kind of taken a step back again because life got a little busy and a little stressy, trying to, post all the time and making it good content. Because here's the other thing. I want to have and share content that is meaningful to people. I don't want to just be sharing like, this is my lunch today or, any other things. Like I want to share content with you that fills you up, that makes you feel good, but is also like true to who I am. And I can get lost when I dilute it when I share and share and share and share. And that's why I love doing this podcast, because I can have a conversation with you. It's harder to do in social media where it's like just a little blurb or a little thing. And so, like I said, social media can be, relationship breaking for yourself. So please, please, please just, I'm not saying, again, I want to reiterate this. I'm not saying get rid of social media. You got to do what feels right to you. And if this is how you stay up to date with friends and family, awesome. It's so good. I found different ways of doing that without being on social media for my family anymore. I got a digital picture frame for my grandma, so I can just share pictures right from my phone to the frame, and just different things that I'm doing that doesn't involve social media. Because the other thing is things are going a little wacko-jacko with social media these days, where regulations and rules and there's a lot going on there, and I don't love it. So, it can be tricky. So anyways, that's my personal thoughts on that. Just because I think one way, though, doesn't mean you have to think that way. I just wanted to share this because I remember when social media literally made me miserable. Actually, it still made me miserable when I was trying to share with everybody on social media. But I mean, as my personal development story, personal journey, really, self-love journey, whatever you want to call it. I remember when it made me feel miserable. And I did a lot of stuff that I thought I should do because other people were doing it, when I realized, wait, that's not lined up with my values. I didn't do anything, criminal or anything like that, but I just meant like I followed other people's footsteps. I followed in other people's shoes, and they didn't fit me. And, you can get lost in that. So if you're like me and you find yourself comparing your life to others, maybe have like an unplugged day. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just take even an hour of like, I'm not going to touch my phone, or maybe a day, like work up to whatever feels right to you. But if you're not feeling good on social media, a good thing to do is do a little detox. Like even just one day. That's how I started, on one unplugged day. And then it went to like a whole weekend of unplugging. And then I went to 2 years of unplugging. I'm not saying just because you unplug for a day or an hour, you're going to lead up to not being on social media ever. However, it's about checking in. If you're having a hard time on your self-love journey, where you're constantly putting yourself down, you're finding yourself in negative ruts, put down the phone. There's a lot of apps out there that can block you from being on it, or only allow you on for so many hours and things like that. So if it's something that you struggle with and you do want to take a step back from it a little bit, look into different apps there's so many out there and they're free. And it's just being mindful of your feelings, of your time, because you are worthy. You're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of having this amazing life. But when you're on social media and you're living your life through others, that's not much of a life anymore. I'm not saying you don't have a life, but if you're living, I've been there where I'm like, ooh, where's people, where are people at? What are people doing? And I'd be on my couch, traveling the world through other people's, posts. And that's fine and dandy, but there's also a life that's waiting for you too. So, to kind of wrap this up, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I'm not saying delete all your social media accounts or anything like that. All I'm saying is be mindful of how you feel when you're on there. How much time are you spending on it? What times are you spending on it? Like, is it right before bed, or is it the first thing you do in the morning? Those are the two bookends that kind of set us up for a good night's sleep at night. And in the morning, it sets us up for the day. So if you're not feeling good at the beginning because you're doing something, scrolling through social media and doesn't make you feel good, then that's how you're starting your day, and that's the energy you bring into the day. Doesn't mean you can't turn it around, but it's just being mindful and understand that it can really hinder our mental abilities to get through the day. When we're constantly seeing other people living their lives, maybe things that you want to see, if it isn't a sign that, oh, I can do that too, because that can happen too. It's like, oh, they're doing that. That's cool. That means I can do that too. But a lot of the time when we see somebody else, we're like, oh, I wish I could do that. Or why can't I have that? Or, it's that you can either take something very positive and feel the positivity with a post, or you can feel very negative and feel crappy, and it can put you down. So it's just checking in with yourself when you're on social media, because it can really keep you from really building a loving relationship with yourself. Because if you're scrolling and you're looking at people's lives, and in that time frame you're putting yourself down, then you're not sending yourself love, right? So it's one or the other. And I have to say, let's flip this around for a second and end on a positive note. As much as there might be a lot of negativity out there, a lot of people are just sharing their stories, and you can get lost in the negativity because you're like, oh, but why can't my life be as awesome? Let's flip it to the other side. There's a ton of awesome on there. There's wonderful groups that you can join that people can support you and be a part of. And there are like lots of motivational posts. That's what I try to do. I, want to share love and support and encouragement. And when I'm having a crappy time, like I try to share those moments. I just haven't been on it as much, and I'm trying to really refine my groove. Now, so there is good stuff on there. So I'm not saying, there's anything bad. I also have social media because where I live, a lot of businesses don't have websites. They use Facebook and Instagram to say what's happening. So if you want to know what's happening around here, you got to be on social media. So it's kind of a bummer on my end, but it's where we're at. It's free. Social media is free. So there are good things to social media. So I don't want to say, it's all bad. It really isn't. But it's just checking in with yourself to see how you feel. And honestly, after being away for 2 years, it felt darn good to do other things with my time. I actually had relaxing evenings. I think I've slept so good these past couple of years because my phone goes into dark mode and an hour and a half before I want to be in bed, because it goes into bedtime mode and it goes black and white. And then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be on my phone. Like the moment I stopped having to be like, oh, I need to post today or I need to go on here, it was so good. And then I, brought it into business. So I personally I'm still working on boundaries for social media in my business, because it can be hard when, I want to share my life with you. I want to share motivational posts and things and inspire you. But at the same time, I have my own life that I want to be in the present enjoying. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, so I actually, because I have this I don't love social media, I actually created a community room. It's a forum. I'm going old school, and it's called Be You. It's a Be You community room, and it's actually on my website. So it doesn't involve social media. You can just go there, and it's other like-minded women, and we're in this community to support one another. It's what I feel social media, is missing now. Like, we do have pockets of it, but this way you don't have to get lost in all the negativity. You can be inspired. You connect with other women that are going through things, ask questions, and really support one another in this beautiful environment. And we encourage you to be you, to show up as yourself. So if you're having a hard day, a bad day, whatever, maybe you just cried. Maybe you just can't catch your footing and things are going crazy sauce and you can't seem to find your footing again. We're there for you to help you and support you through it. Because I know for sure that we're human and humans have human experiences. Nothing's always there is no perfect, really. There's no such thing as perfect, because perfect is based on everybody's definition of perfect. And we all have different perspectives of being perfect, or what does perfect look like. So the perfect house or the perfect life, the perfect partner, the perfect kids, we all have this idea. And then when we let go of the perfect and we just show up as ourselves, then we don't have these expectations that aren't ours anymore. We're like, this is me, this is who I am, and this is awesome. Now, that doesn't mean that you can tear people down and be like, this is me, I'm mean, because that's not where we're at either, right? We all love one another. When we love ourselves, we can love others. There's a big thing, and I always remind my children, hurt people hurt. So when you're hurting, it feels good to hurt somebody else. I'm just talking verbally. So we can get caught up in when I'm not, you're not feeling good. It's ooh, you might make a comment to somebody because that makes you feel good to put somebody else down. And that's where the whole bully thing comes in. So we don't like bullies in our community room. But when you show up as you and you're in this place of love for yourself and for the world, then there is no bullying. There's truth, where I'm I don't love social media, right? That's my truth. But I'm not saying you don't need to do social media. You know what I mean? This is my idea of what I feel about social media. That doesn't mean it has to be your idea. You are you, and that's awesome. So if you want to be a part of our community where you can be surrounded by like-minded women, supporting one another, and you're free to be yourself, showing up exactly who you are and in exactly the moment you are. And if you're having a bad day, it's okay. We're there to lift you up. And if you're having a great day, maybe it's your turn to lift somebody else up. We're all there together. I'm surrounded by a beautiful, loving community here where I'm living, and I've never felt so connected and supported. So when I was redoing my website, I decided I wanted to create something that can help others feel that same way, but have it open to the world, right? You can't, we can't all be physical neighbors, but we can be neighbors online. And it is absolutely free to join. You just need to create an account and boom, you're in. So we would love to have you. So this is something you feel like, yes, I want this. And maybe it will help you have a little less social media time, or you can balance it, right? Maybe if social media is not making you feel good, well, this is a place that can make you feel good. And there's resources and a place to just be supported and feel good about yourself. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for you. If you found this episode helpful, please share the love, subscribe to the podcast channel, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. And hopefully over in the BU community room. If you join, please introduce yourself, and I look forward to getting to know you better. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.